Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. I may have been wearing glasses 3 seconds ago. They are here again now, but I'm not putting them on my face because I am extremely vain, extremely good looking, and I don't need glasses on my face. You know what I mean? I do need glasses because these screens are miles away from me and I cannot read them. However, I'm not going to stick them on now. You know what I mean? I'm not going to stick them on for the purpose of this podcast. But I hope that you're all doing fantastically well this morning. I do realise that I've left the lights on above me as well, which is why it's usually a little bit darker in here. It's usually a little bit darker in here. I do apologise about that. But for you guys that listen to some podcast services, it doesn't make a difference because I'm coming at you live from the Ice Cream Upload studios. There is no Graham today. There will be no Graham for at least the next 13 days as he is currently travelling around the Big Apple. What time is it there now? Are they like 5 hours behind? Is it like just gone 6? I don't even know what time it is now. 20 past 11. So is it like 20 past 6 now? I'm not sure. You'll probably see that it'll jump up in the chat in a second. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Even if we do say so ourselves, and we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. Again, it's 20 past 11. This is the morning for us. This is a very good start. Yesterday, there was loads of stuff going on. I got a new laptop, so I needed to set this up. It was reports day over at Jelly Media, especially for myself. So I had to get all that stuff done before, obviously, I could have done any form of podcast service, but I didn't have enough time. We completely ran out. But yeah, we are back today on a Wednesday, the 14th of July. June. 14th of June. I'm out. This year has gone quick enough as it is. I don't need to be lumping on another month on top of that. Naked Neil says, yes, baby, 5 hours behind. I mean, that was genuinely just a guess. JMK says, Bibby looking for... I'm gonna have to stick my glasses on because I genuinely can't see shit from that side of the room. I took them off because they need cleaning. I've left my glasses case upstairs. But Bibby looking for summary. Do you know what? I didn't need glasses for that. It's just JMK's gone a bit potty with that. Gaga says, looking suave, Mr. Bibby. Well, you know, it's summertime and there's only one set of clothing that requires some summertime action, and it is all the flowery shirts that are getting run out over this summer period. West put !! Socials, legendary stuff. Put the specs on, you sexy beast. OG Bibby is in here saying ish. I mean, he is genuinely the reason why I wasn't ready at 10 a.m. this morning. I'm not going to tell you there's the reason why. Gagad says, I'm on stream. Do my eyes deceive me? Have I started drinking again? So many questions. I mean, the drinking again questions only could be answered by you. But no, your eyes do not deceive you. It is 20 past 11 here over in the UK. So yeah, we are going to be starting today's episode of The Scoop very, very soon. But again, as mentioned, we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. And you can find us on all of your favorite podcast services, including Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and Google Play, and all the other ones that you may digest your daily podcast services on. We're available on all of them. As well as that, if you have missed the show and you actually want to see what kind of shirt I am wearing today, it's an absolute belter for you guys that I listen to Sort of Podcast. Go over to YouTube or to Twitch on demand and you'll see today's episode rendered there for you about an hour or so after this show has finished. So that, my friends, is the morning spiel. That is the go-to stuff. That is the stuff that you guys already know because we are about 730 episodes in at this point over a 4-year period. So, yeah. I assume we should just get on with the show, right? Because we have 2 news stories. I do have 3 news stories. However, I don't think we're going to be able to get through them all in the time that we have allocated today. But the Summer Games Fest / everybody else doing showcases over the last 5 days looks like it's potentially come to an end now, as Ubisoft and Capcom both did theirs on Monday. I was going to put this in the news for yesterday. Obviously, we didn't end up doing it, but it's still relevant today. This might be the only gaming podcast that you guys listen to, so by God, am I going to give you my run-through of what to expect from Ubisoft and Capcom in the very near future. So we're going to start with some Ubisoft news as I bring this on the screen for you now. Oh, yeah. So written by, scroll down, Lottie Lynn. Over at Eurogamer, she says that everything shown during Ubisoft Forward 2023, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Skull and Bones, Avatar, and of course some Star Wars. So we're going to the first line of the article and it says, hello, or in Bibby's terms. Hello! Now that the Ubisoft Forward presentation has come to a close, it's time to go over everything that was shown during the trailer-filled summer showcase. It includes a variety of updates for upcoming games and a selection of reveals, all of which you can find below and their accompanying trailer. Below, you'll be able to take a look at Assassin's Creed, not Mead, A Skull and Bones, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, amongst other titles, ending with our first glimpse at gameplay from Star Wars Outlaws. Ubisoft Forward began with a trailer for Avatar Frontiers Pandora, which will be released on the 7th of September 2023, which is 2 days before Bibby's birthday, and I believe 4 days after Graham's birthday. So let me see if I can... I'm going to play this trailer. I'm going to skip through the trailer if it decides to start playing, which it doesn't look like it is at the moment. Whether or not that means that it's been hidden on YouTube or we're just having a bit of a shit fit, I'm not too sure. Yeah, this isn't going to work, is it? Nope. Okay, moving on. Moving swiftly on then. What followed next was a look at Avatar Frontiers of Pandora gameplay, but I prefer to visit the Pandora from Pandora sequence by Frank Herbert and Bill Ransom myself. I'm guessing Lottie isn't a fan of what she's seeing from this Avatar Frontiers Pandora gameplay. So we're going to skip through a little bit here to see what we can see during this trailer. I mean, Avatar itself is it's a beautiful universe, right? There's a reason why it was the #1 box office, ranked box office hit for a number of years. Was it about 10 years that it was #1 for? Because it literally just elevated CGI and what we can be accomplished in the cinema at the time. Now, this looks absolutely stunning still. I want to see some gameplay, though. I want to see what this looks like. I don't think we're seeing much at this point. Oh, here we go. It's a bit of first-person action with a crossbow. I'm guessing some sort of stealth fear action. There we go. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have never seen an Avatar film, or I may have done and just not paid that much attention to it. I'm going to put the gameplay audio on low here. Here we go. We've got a weapon wheel and a gun now. Bosh. There we go. This is some sort of Predator vibes, right? Bang, bang, bang. Taking down a helicopter with one shot. Okay, this isn't what I expected from an Avatar game. I'm going to be honest. Hands up who thought that this was going to be the type of Avatar game we were going to get. Because I genuinely didn't think that it would be the case. But here we are. Avatar's Frontiers of Pandora. I wasn't looking forward to an Avatar game. However, that looks pretty good, to be fair. Next came a look at X-Defiant with a trailer based upon footage taken from the closed beta. X-Defiant will be released. Let me just turn that right down. X-Defiant will be released later this summer, and there will be an open beta first, running from the 21st to the 23rd of June. Which 2 days for an open beta doesn't seem like a lot. I'm going to be honest. I'd like to see a week's worth of gameplay running through. I'm just gonna turn this off because this is obviously streamer stuff rather than it being a gameplay trailer. But apparently, obviously, X-Defiant built up of XCOD and XCOD professionals who would have probably been giving their insight into the game with the COD developers creating the game for us to be able to experience. So I'm guessing this game is in good hands. I've heard very, very good things from it. Whether or not it's a game that I can get right into, I don't know. I feel like I'm starting to move further and further away from first-person shooters and what they offer us. Whether or not that's because I'm getting older, my reflexes don't seem to be as good as they used to be. Or I'm just phasing out of it. It's just not something that interests me as much as it did 10 years ago. But, I mean, this looks fast-paced. It looks decent enough. It does look like a COD game. Let's be honest. Cards on the table, it genuinely looks like a COD game, which is to be expected because it's from ex-COD developers. But it might fill a gap. It might fill a gap that obviously Battlefield have distanced themselves from in the first-person world based off of their, I say latest updates. Yeah, latest updates have actually clawed back some ground. But yeah, for the shooter games, this looks like it definitely could do some damage towards a Call of Duty fan base. Pidge says the main focus is fighting humans, though. Mechs. Yeah, but that's the thing. The Avatar stuff. I didn't think that would be the Avatar thing. Again, I've not seen the film, so I don't know what it is that they were fighting against in the first place. But it just seems a bit odd. But I don't know. It looks like a decent game anyway. Then we move on. It says, after this came Prince of Persia: Lost Crown trailer, which made its world premiere during Summer Games Fest 2023 last week. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown will be released on the 18th of January 2024. And I know that this trailer got a lot of hate because it's not what people was expecting a new Prince of Persia game to look like. However, this is exactly what I would assume a Prince of Persia game looking like. Like, we had Sands of Time, like, way back on the original Xbox or PlayStation 2. Way back. And I think that's what more people wanted. I think they wanted, like, a 3D environment world. However, we're getting a 2.5D world with this. And it looks good. It looks... I like the fact that platformers and side-scrolling beat-em-ups are starting to come back into the market again. From a very selfish standpoint, because that's the kind of games that I grew up. We're getting a brand new Sonic game, which again looks like what you'd expect a 2023 Sonic game to look like. An old style side-scrolling platformer with a fresh lick of paint, with the graphics that are available to us now. Very much in the ilk of what Sonic Mania was. We obviously had a 3D Sonic game not long ago with Sonic Frontiers, but I think this is, this is just a gameplay animated trailer. It's not showing much of the, so look, it's the reveal animated trailer. It's not the gameplay, the animated trailer. So yeah, you're not going to see much from that in terms of what the game's going to look like. Also, the trailer came some Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown gameplay, and it looked a lot better than what the trailer revealed, based off of what I just said. Here is the trailer for the gameplay stuff. So yeah, this is what I expect a Prince of Persia game to look like in 2023. I've just mentioned the Sonic stuff there. So is it going to be a game that I'm going to play? I'm not too sure. I do love platformer games. I do love a platformer game. It's just Prince of Persia hasn't really been my bag. But this could change it. This might end up being like the Super Meat Boy, because that's what it looks like here. Type game that might fill my void. I know this is going to do well. This is going to do it, regardless of what people say now about the trailer. This game is going to do well in 2024 now, isn't it? It's early 2024. But yeah, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments if this is a game that you are obviously looking forward to. Cookie says, can an Xbox One be placed on its side, or must it be flat? Xbox One on its side, maybe, yeah, because I think the vents on the top, right? I mean, if you line it down, the vents there, so if you move it up, it's going to be on its side. As long as there's nothing covering the sides and you're not putting it in like a cabinet with really close shelves, I imagine it'll do okay. But yeah, I don't think. In fact, no, mine's not on its side on my desk. Mine's on its bottom, on its top. I don't know. It's laid down flat. But yeah, as long as you're not covering the vents, you should be fine. It's not in an enclosed space. Moving on then, Ubisoft then brought a teaser trailer for Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix anime, which will be airing on Netflix this summer. So I'm just going to turn it down a little bit again because I can see it peaking. Yeah, again, these aren't my types of games. But, I mean, this is something that's going to be coming on Netflix, so it's not really a game to look at. But the anime style things... Back in the day, massive into Pokemon, massive into Dragon Ball. Haven't really watched anything, barring the Castlevania Netflix stuff that got brought out. This isn't my bag. It's probably not aimed at me. So, yeah, we'll move swiftly on them. This was immediately followed by something that is a bit of me. For the smartphone game Tom Clancy's The Division Resurgence, which will be released sometime this autumn. You can pre-register now to unlock additional rewards, including a New York City firefighter set and a gold weapon skin. So I actually played the beta of this, or the alpha, which was available on Android and I think iOS as well, but I played this with my Razer Keisha controller, thoroughly enjoyed it. It basically just felt like a Division game scaled down to a mobile device. It didn't feel like a cheap imitation or anything like that. So I'm excited to see what we're actually going to get from this. It's not going to be what you'd expect from the PlayStation or the Xbox or PC versions of the game. It's obviously going to be stripped out, but the core of what makes the Division good seemed to be there. I don't think that there was 1 second. It looks like the mic is there twice. Bearing a mix. Let me just mute this. Is there an echo, guys? Can you hear an echo that's coming through? Because it looks like it's been put through twice on this screen, which I haven't done, which is very interesting. But I'll mute that one anyway. But yeah, for those of you that may have played The Division, I imagine this is going to fill a gap. You can't hear one. The volumes were the same, so hopefully because there was matching, you shouldn't have heard an echo. But yeah, both the mic volumes are moving up, which is weird because that never happens. I haven't put that in there, so I don't know where that's come from. But yeah, this is more of the Division. If you have a Razer Keisha controller or you're familiar with using touchscreen controllers, then this will be right up your street. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm really, really looking forward to this. In the Division Heartland, I love the Division. I need more of that stuff. The free-to-play one might be a little bit evasive when it comes to microtransactions and stuff, but I didn't see much in the mobile version, which is obviously a good sign. Then moving on, Skull and Bones came, was bringing a trailer and a sea shanty. It will have a closed beta between the 25th and the 28th of August. So this is obviously the sea shanty version. I need to pause this just in case it does have some sort of copyright stuff on there, so you're not going to hear the volume from this one. You may have just heard the first couple of parts there, but Skull and Bones seems to have been in development for what feels like an absolute eternity. It is a game that I have a very keen eye on. Maybe not one that I'm going to enjoy playing. However, I like watching people play Sea of Thieves, and there's a guy that you guys may know called Shogun Ash that's been around this channel. He's been a friend of this channel. He's a very close friend of myself and Graham's. He's played a lot of Sea of Thieves. He's streamed a lot of Sea of Thieves, so I like the storyline of what you can potentially do, being a thief out on the seas. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this game actually ends up delivering. I mean, again, this is not a gameplay trailer. You're not going to see anything from this. It's just going to be a theatrical musical trailer. So yeah, it's been a long time since we've been waiting for this game, so I'm excited to see more. Roller Champions, again, I'm going to be brutally honest, I cannot believe that this game is still going. I thought that this one would have been a game that got canned not long after launch, but clearly there's a market out there for this type of game. But next came a trailer looking for a variety of games, including the Jet Set Radio event for Roller Champions. This obviously may entice people back because a Jet Set Radio, cult classic. I'm not going to say much about this game because it's definitely not a game that is aimed at me or a game that I will be interested in playing anytime soon. So moving then on. Said trailer also include a look at the Skate add-on for Riders Republic, which is super cool. With obviously Skate 3 on the horizon. Riders Republic being a game that a lot of people enjoyed when it came out. Obviously content is still happening within that game, so that game is going to live on. This is definitely a game, an update that's going to wet the whistle of people who are super excited about what is going to be taking place with Skate 3. I think later on this year. I can't remember when the release date is for it, so yeah, this is cool. I like this. I love skateboarders are genuinely one of the coolest people on the earth, right? Skateboarders and drummers, coolest people to walk the earth. They always make everything look so effortless. Then we would get a clips of Combat Evolved crossover with an event for Brawlhalla, which is Master Chief Enter the Fight. Again, a game that I'm not too familiar with. I need to turn this down because I think this might end up being quite loud. I mean, to be fair, I can't even see the mix coming through, so you guys might not even get any audio for this. But we caught a glimpse of the Combat Evolved trailer over Brawlhalla. I've not played any of Brawlhalla. I don't know if you guys have and whether or not you're interested in this type of update, but more characters coming to a Smash-like brawler. It's a thumbs up from you guys, I imagine. Just looking through the comments, and Cookie says, I bought a 1X for 60 and a portable monitor for 70 last night, a table setup. Love that. Absolutely love that. Having a portable monitor is something that I was in the market for. You can get them on Amazon, can't you, for like £100, 1080p monitor, a little flat screen thing, so you can just put it on your table, and then I can have my console to the side of me here, so in the front room, while the boy's messing about playing with whatever it is that he's going to be playing with. I might just be able to have a Sly game on whatever it is. But yeah, those kind of things do interest me, and you manage to pick an absolute bargain there, especially with the likes of Game Pass on your console. Next came the Crew Motorfest, which will be released on the 14th of September, beginning with a cinematic trailer. However, you purchase either the Gold or Ultimate Edition, you'll be able to play the game 3 days early. Now, the Crew seems to be like the bastard stepchild of racing games. I don't understand why, because I actually really enjoyed the first Crew game. I haven't played the second one. Again, there was a massive lull in me wanting or having the desire to play any kind of racing game again. Forza Horizon 4 changed that. I absolutely adored that game. Forza Horizon 5, banging game. I'm playing a little bit of Grid Legends at this moment in time, but the Crew, thoroughly enjoyed the first one, so there is definitely a market for a new Crew game. The Crew 2 was supported forever as well. Like, it just seemed to go... How long was it? When did it come out? Like 2013, 2017 or something like that. And I think it was still being supported up until last year, if not still. So yeah, another crew game. I'm excited to see what this is going to hold, because obviously the main competitor of this, Forza Horizon, and that is the main competitor for this type of game. Need for Speed, the open world stuff, I don't think it comes close to what is achieved with these kind of games at this moment in time. So yeah, seeing what it's going to go up against with the likes of Forza Horizon 4, interesting. We've just seen more of that stuff, so we don't need to see it. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR was followed with this for the Meta Quest 2 and 3. Let's skip through this a little bit. Oh, this looks cool. Graphically, it looks insane. It seems to have stuck a little bit. What's going on here? Here we go. It's going to play again. This looks cool, man. Bang, have some of that. Jump over there. Hello. I mean, this is like a CGI cinematic trailer. It's probably not going to look this great within the game. If it does, Jesus, this is probably the best looking VR game that there is out there, but I don't think it's going to look this good. It'd be nice to see some actual gameplay stuff. If it is if that is the gameplay stuff, it's going to be an award winner. It's genuinely going to be an award winner. But yeah, this looks fantastic. I'm excited to see more of this as when it comes through, and that's coming from a not Assassin's Creed fan. Anyway, moving to some more Assassin's Creed stuff. With Assassin's Creed loving continued with some Assassin's Creed codename Jade. This game will be available on iOS and Android devices, and you can register now for a closed beta. So we're going to get a mobile version of, I imagine, a completely different Assassin's Creed game. Maybe not in the timeline. Again, I'm not Assassin's Creed fan by any stretch. However, Valhalla I thought was an amazing game. That was the first Assassin's Creed game that I played since the first one. So I'm not the target market for this. However, it seems to be getting people. If you are an Assassin's Creed fan, you are getting content through your ass at the moment. You never seen me drumming whilst on a skateboard. Trust me, it doesn't look effortless. Gad. Very fair point. Assassin's Creed didn't stop there, as we were treated to another story trailer for Assassin's Creed Mirage, which will be released on the 12th of October. It looks like a beautiful game. Like, from what I've seen of this, it looks like a beautiful game. I don't know whether or not this is going to be something that I'm going to be playing. I mean, I didn't finish Valhalla. I did get a chunk of the way through it, maybe 40, 50 hours. Never finished it. I'm one of those guys, though, in an open world game, that if I see something on the map that needs collecting, I'm going to do my damnedest to try and collect it before I move on to doing side missions. I'll then clear all the side missions. I'll then clear the main storyline stuff. So open world games take me way longer than they probably should do, but I get distracted very easily when I'm playing open world games, especially if I see something on the map that needs collecting. But it's more of an open world Assassin's Creed game. You know the drill by now. We don't need to see any more of it. Star Wars Outlaws. Now, this is the stuff that I think was getting the biggest plaudits through that Ubisoft showcase, and the show ended with a look at the gameplay for Star Wars Outlaws. Sorry, I got distracted again then because the trailer didn't seem to want to play. Here we go. Which will be released in 2024. What do you think? I'm a relaxed Star Wars fan. I am not going to be the guy that you're coming to for lore of every single character. I'm not going to be the guy that remembers every single frame in every single film. I enjoy watching. I've watched all of the Star Wars films. I enjoy them when they come out. I don't go back and watch them all that often, but as a Star Wars fan, this looks decent. Here we go. You're going to see some combat coming through here. Usually I would like to bring this stuff big screen on the screen, but last time we did this, we're going to end up getting a copyright strike, so I'm going to leave it as to like 40% of the screen. It looks very Mass Effect-y. It looks very Mass Effect-y, Gears of War type duck and cover style shooters. As long as it doesn't end up playing like Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, I'll be grateful. But yeah, this looks more of a type of Star Wars game for me, more so than the likes of Fallen Order and Survive. Not saying they're bad games. I've played maybe the first 4 hours of Fallen Order. I enjoyed it, but I think that this is definitely something that would keep my imagination and keep me wanting to play more and more. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was a look at Ubisoft Forward 2023. Quite a lot of games in there. Some exciting titles that are going to be coming out over the next 18 months or so. I realise that I'm not quite in the centre. Am I sat on this chair correctly? That's what it feels like, because it feels like there's a lot of things that I'm not looking at. But yeah, that was a look at the Ubisoft stuff. The games look fantastic. I don't think there was a dud in there. Maybe the Assassin's Creed mobile game, but I'm definitely not the target audience. Oh, and of course, Roller Champions. That game honks for me. That's not something that I would like to partake in at all. But yeah, seems to be doing well enough to carry on making content, supporting content with it. Precision says laptop is slightly to the right of our screen. There you go. How's about that? I'll just move that slightly that way. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that looks straight. I mean, the camera, where it is not straight. It's not straight. We've been messing about with the stuff. For you guys that have been in the studio before, when you come in next time, it's going to look completely different. Like, it's night and day. You'd think it was a completely different place. So we keep on taking the cameras out because we've got a load of stuff that we need to film and putting them back, and I don't think they keep on going back completely straight or completely flush. But yeah, it's a thing. When Graham's here, it balances it out rather than me looking a bit off. That's why it looks that way. Okay, let's move back a little bit. There you go. Bosh. Anyway, moving swiftly on. How you doing, Shagger? We've got one more news story for you today. And this is the Capcom Showcase 2023, everything that was announced during it, written by Logan Plant over at IGN. So the Capcom Showcase 2023 is a wrap, and the publisher shared the new details on Dragon's Dogma 2, Pragmata, Ace Attorney, and more. Read on to learn everything that was announced during this conference. So this is a 3-minute trailer. Obviously not going to be watching all 3 minutes of this. Yeah, I was going to say I'll get the gameplay feed coming through, but again, I can't see it. I mean, it could be this, actually. It could be this. I think someone's unmuted the wrong thing. That's the wrong mouse. Where's my mouse? There it is. No, I'll save that for next time. I'll save that for next. I'll come in here tomorrow and sort a lot of shit out that I need to do. But I'm still managing to bring you an episode of Soup, so that's all that counts, right? Moving on. Dragon's Dogma 2 got a gameplay trailer at today's showcase, showing off the large, wide fantasy world players will explore. We learned about the new pawn system. Easy now, PAWN, where NPC characters will fight the game's giant beasts alongside you. Capcom also said that the world is 4 times the size of the original, and that gameplay is designed for players creatively tackle combat whatever way they can think of. The game is coming to PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and also on Steam. Now this is the very definition of what a BB game is. I don't know how I've managed to overlook the first Dragon's Dogma. It's a game that I've always wanted to play, and I think it's been given away on every single platform, so there genuinely is no excuse for me not to play this game. I'm looking forward to jumping in and seeing what this game is all about, because graphically looks fantastic, mechanically looks fantastic, storyline I'm not too sure, again, because obviously I didn't play the original one. I don't know what the kind of vibe is from it, but it has all the hallmarks of what we would deem to be a BB game. So yeah, Pragmata has been delayed indefinitely. Pragmata has been delayed from 2023 to an unknown year. Capcom revealed during today's showcase that this was the first that we've heard of the game since 2021, but we still haven't seen much of Capcom's upcoming action-adventure. To be fair though, it was one of the most charming delay announcements that we've ever seen, as news of the delay, along with apology, was scribbled on a piece of paper within the trailer. So yeah, they made a purpose-built trailer to announce that this game has been delayed, and we're not going to be seeing this game this year, maybe even next year or the year below. Maybe it's something to do with maybe it's they want to start again, the storyline wasn't quite working, or they managed to get a new engine rendering this game out instead. So yeah, this is cool. I like this. It doesn't we don't get this type of thing usually. We end up getting a big splash screen over on Twitter to suggest that to announce that the game will not be coming out. So I like the fact that they've gone a bit of the extra mile just to secure your eyes, your thoughts, and get a nice response from it, just to say that obviously this game will not be coming out this year again, which to me isn't the end of the world, because we don't know much about it now, so we aren't really missing much. We just know that Capcom are obviously making a game that we know nothing about at this moment in time, and unfortunately it's been delayed I say indefinitely. We don't know when it's coming out, so I suppose you could say it's indefinitely. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy is coming to 2024. Hashtag not a BB game. Ace Attorney 4, 5, and 6 are getting HD remasters in a compilation called Apollo Justice. This includes Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. The trilogy is coming to PS4, Switch, Xbox One, and PC in early 2024. I'm guessing then, because it's coming to PlayStation 1 and PS4, you're going to be getting this on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X as well. So if you are an Ace Attorney fan, like I know Iceman is, then this will be right up your street. Nice way to announce a delay, says JMK. Absolutely, mate. It's one of the most relatable ways, shall we say. So yeah, it's cool that they've done something a little bit different. Exo Primal gets a new release trailer, roadmap, and battle pass has been revealed. Are we older than 17? Of course we are. Of course we are. We're just over a month away from Exo Primal's release on July 14th, and Capcom have shared a new trailer for the Dino Hunting game ahead of its launch. Capcom also showed the roadmap and battle pass for the live service elements of the game. We also got a deep dive on the story, took a look at a new map featuring Space Elevator and more. Finally, a second open beta test is happening from June 16th to June 18th. I think it's June 14th today, so you're looking at Friday to Sunday for this. I haven't seen any of this game, if I'm being... Oh, wait. Yes, I have. I remember this game, and I was thinking, nope, this is definitely not a BB game. I remember seeing this... Was it at Gamescom last year when myself, Asim, Graham... It was either Show or Ben or all five of us. Yeah, this is not a BB game. This is as far away from a BB game that you're going to get. I like the idea. I like the concept, but no. If you're into that kind of type of game, though, you're in for a treat by the looks of it. It looks like they're going all out with it. The Ghost Trick demo is available now. A Ghost Trick remaster is out on the 30th of June, and a demo for the game is available now. The mystery game comes in Shu Takami, the creator and writer of the original Ace Attorney trilogy. Save data carries over from the demo as well to the main game's release. I love it when games do that. I mean, we don't get demos all often anymore, so I'm glad that they have. The Ghost Trick remaster is coming to Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, which I'm guessing again, you're going to be getting this on Series S and X and PlayStation 5 too. I mean, if they don't, they're definitely missing out on something there. Again, not a BB game in any way, shape, or form. So we're moving on. Kunitsu Gami, the Path of the Goddess trailer, was formally unveiled yesterday at the Xbox Showcase, and Capcom opened its show with the same reveal trailer. The game is running on the Reach for the Moon engine, not Resident Evil engine, and Capcom said its action strategy will be at the heart of the gameplay loop. It's coming to Xbox Series S and X, PlayStation 5, and PC. Now, for a game that's running on the RE engine, and whether or not this is... it's running at 480, that's probably why. Get it ramped up. Get that 1440p going. Because we're going to call it the Resident Evil engine, even though we know that it's not that. It is, for me... personally, the best looking engine that's out there. It definitely was towards the end of the PlayStation 4 cycle, and the Resident Evil remakes are unbelievable. They look gorgeous. So yeah, for me, it's one of the best looking engines that's out there. So if they are going to be utilizing that for this game, we're in for an absolute winner. Maybe not a game that would strike me as one that I would be playing straight off the bat, but you never know. You never know. Here's a little bit of the gameplay elements of it. Hack and slash style. Is it going to play like Devil May Cry? Because I love Devil May Cry. Moving then on. Mega Man X Dive offline coming to Steam, iOS, and Android. So another, obviously, Capcom game here, considering, Capcom Showcase. Mobile game that's going to be coming out. What is this going to look like? A side-scroller? A new mobile and PC Mega Man game was shown off during today's showcase. It's called Mega Man X Dive, and it's coming sometime this year. You play as Mega Man X and other characters from the franchise, including characters that have never been playable before, and characters that are brand new to the franchise. Familiar bosses and over 900 stages. Genuinely, you're never going to get bored playing this, are you? Unless it's a bad game. Straight off the bat, having a look at the top here, the counters, you can see the money, and that looks like in-game currency. So something that you might end up having to pay for. So chances are it's going to be a free game, and you're going to have to pay for some stuff. But 900 levels is outrageous, whichever way you spin it. So if it's a game that you end up enjoying, you play the first 30, 40 levels for free, then you might end up having to, pay for extra levels, extra characters or whatever. If that's your kind of bag, then they've got you covered. Oh, and that was the end of the article. I actually thought there was something else. So yeah, there was no Resident Evil stuff in this showcase, which I already knew. Coming into today's episode, not going into the showcase, I didn't know that there wasn't going to be showing any. But yeah, the fact that there is no Resident Evil news in this automatically gives it a thumbs down from it. I'm only joking. It was a shame that we didn't get to see more Resident Evil news. I want to be able. We was praying for a remaster or remake of Code Veronica or Outbreak or something along those lines, and obviously we didn't get to see it within this, which is a little bit of a shame. But it is what it is. We've had a lot of Resident Evil content over the last 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, since the remake of Resident Evil 2 came out. Obviously, Resident Evil 4 remake has just come out as well. So, yeah, I think I did read that we got an advert for Resident Evil 4 Oculus within the showcase when it was done live. So, hopefully we might end up seeing the Resident Evil showcase later on this year, for maybe some games that are going to get announced. I'm not too sure, but I imagine if a Resident Evil showcase does take place later on this year, that there's a big chance that the new game is going to get revealed. Whether or not it's Resident Evil next in the numbered installments, or it's a remake that's going to be happening, or maybe a port of an older game. I'm not too sure, but I'm looking forward anyway. Let's go, my boy. Big love, fam. Stay blessed. Hope you have an absolutely epic stream, says Steiger Gaming. Appreciate that, buddy. Hope that you're having a good day too. But yeah, you know what? I did actually have 3 news articles, and I thought it would take a lot longer going through those 2. So what I will do is I'll bring up the third one, so we don't have to leave it out then, essentially. Let's bring this up on the big screen. So written on VGC by Tom Ivan, Xbox says that PC audience isn't a window, it's a market, and they deserve our games on day one. Microsoft will generate $1 billion in PC gaming revenue this year, according to Phil Spencer. That's a big old number. Microsoft's head of gaming has stressed the importance of PC gaming market to Xbox. In an interview with Giant Bomb, Xbox boss Phil Spencer discussed the company's strategy of releasing first-party titles simultaneously on console and PC. Day one on PC, and this will be, I don't know if people will love this statement, we don't look at the PC audience as a window, right? It's a market, and it's a market that we believe deserves better. Our games, day one, he said. That's where we're going to ship our games. It's not about, like, later on. I'm reading this like for like, by the way. If I'm stuttering, it's because there's commas been put in there, so I'm guessing it's literally word for word been copied from him. But anyway, that's where we're going to ship our games. It's not about, like, later on. I'm going to tell you those games so something else happens. Like, we'll see the PC market. We can do a better job with it. And the Xbox app and the work that we have. But our games, library, and even our investments in things like Bethesda was because of the PC heritage and what they can mean. Microsoft's PC gaming strategy contrasts that with PlayStation maker Sony, which has committed to releasing most of its first-party titles on console first. Obviously, because it's a Sony PlayStation. I'll get onto it in a second. Last October, PlayStation Studios head Herman Hull says that Sony's future console games would have to wait at least a year before coming to PC, aside from a live service titles which could launch simultaneously. Asked if Xbox is doing a good job of convincing PC audiences that it has an important market, Spence said that the signs are positive, even if there is room for improvement. All I can say now is our users and the business, that the business has never been bigger. Earlier I talked about how we can do $1 billion in PC revenue this year, and the Games Pass is over 100% bigger than it was this time last year on PC, and our player base is almost 50% bigger than it was. So I don't know what else to look at. Can we do better? Yes, obviously, and we need to. During a Kind of Funny's XCast podcast last month, Spencer was asked if Xbox had taken its eye off the console market by focusing too much on PC. In response, he said that Microsoft would be wrong to think that building great console titles could help overtake Sony and Nintendo in terms of hardware sales. Instead, Xbox has chosen to pursue a different strategy to the Japanese company and focused one on fulfilling developers' visions of enabling customers to play their games on any screen, according to Spencer. We're not in the business of out-consoling Sony or out-consoling Nintendo, he says. Really isn't a great solution or win for us, and I know that it will upset a ton of people, but it's just the truth of the matter. And when you're in third place in the console market and the top 2 players are as strong as they are and have, in certain cases, a very, very discreet focus on doing deals on things that they kind of make being an Xbox fan hard for us as a team. And that's on us, nobody else. I see commentary that, he added, I see commentary that if you just build great games and everything will turn around. It's just not true. And if we go off that and build great games, and all of them suddenly you're going to see console shares shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built their digital library of games. So when you go around building on Xbox, we want our community to feel awesome. And but this is the idea that if we've just focused on more great games on our console, and somehow we're going to win the console race, I doesn't really think it doesn't really lay into the reality of most people. Spencer claimed that 90% of the people who buy a console every year already own a PlayStation, Nintendo, or Xbox console, and that their digital library lives are on that ecosystem. This is the first generation where the big games that they're playing were that are available last gen. When you think about Fortnite and Roblox, Minecraft, they continually from generation to generation are so strong. I see a lot of pundits out there and kind of want to go back in time when you had all cartridges and discs and that every new generation was a clean slate. You could switch the whole console share. That's just not what the world we're in today. And we're not in a world where Starfield is an 11 out of 10 and people are selling their PlayStation 5s. That is not going to happen. So I do agree with a lot of what he said there, but there's also some things where I think, you're probably wrong. You are probably wrong. So I agree with him. People, if Starfield is an 11 out of 10 and people are jealous that they're not getting that experience, there is no way that they're going to be selling their PlayStation 5s to go and play on an Xbox. Chances are they're probably going to go and buy an Xbox Series S or sign up to Game Pass to be and use cloud gaming on their laptop, or use their mobile phones if it's a cloud gaming game that they can stream on that. They're just not going to do that, and I fully agree with him on that. I do believe also that they lost the last generation on the Xbox One, regardless of what people are saying now. However, their business as a whole, at this moment in time, feels like their whole focus is on Game Pass and what they can deliver, having a Netflix-style experience. And there is nothing wrong with that, because the amount of money that they would have been making for that service is unheard of. Like, PlayStation have tried to replicate it and failed in most directions. In my personal opinion, the numbers back it up somewhat. However, there is a large grey area within that as well, which we'll never know about because they don't release the numbers for absolutely everything. But in terms of where people play their games, of course it's important to have first-party games, which obviously he has alluded to with this, saying that if we bring the games or we make the games, people will come back. Agreed. That, I mean, he said that isn't the case, but that is the case. If you end up building a backlog, a catalogue of first-party games that are system sellers, people will go and buy your systems, regardless of whether or not they already have a console of the other direction. I am in a very privileged position where I have a PlayStation 5, a PC that can somewhat play PC games, and also an Xbox Series S. Very privileged. There's a lot of people that don't even have one of those options yet. But obviously, being someone who claims to be in a video game journalism world like myself, working in a company that, you know, we work in the video game marketplace. So yeah, of course, I will have to have something like that. Again, privileged position aside. Having great games, first-party games, having IPs that people want to come back for, and then sticking the landing when they come out is super important. More important than having a catalogue of games or third-party games where people are going to come and buy your service. This all boils down to the Bethesda stuff, when they ended up buying Bethesda to take in the likes of the Elder Scrolls, the likes of Starfield, the likes of Doom, having all of these games pray in the background that they can just release an IP and people will end up coming and maybe registering for a month to be able to play those games and then deactivate after they may have completed it. That is fantastic from a Microsoft standpoint, which is obviously the reason why PlayStation are up in arms about the prospects of them buying Activision Blizzard in the future, because they will take the likes of Call of Duty for the next 10 years, claim that they will be able to bring it out on PlayStation consoles, and then they can do whatever they want with. That's their prerogative, in my opinion. If they are willing to part with that cash to buy them IPs, that's their prerogative. Gaming will change dramatically in the next 10 years. Who knows that we don't even have home consoles anymore. We might have a streaming stick instead, something that you plug into a HDMI port like a Google Chromecast, and then you have a PlayStation controller and you're able to play your games that way. The digital library of games might just come down to a £15 a month subscription, and your £70 a month for buying the game off a shelf is redundant. Brick and mortar stores don't exist anymore. Game doesn't exist apart from selling Funko Pops. Like, who knows what we're going to look like in 10 years' time, and it's very difficult to predict. Xbox predicted that we will have a digital first future 10 years ago, and we laughed in their face. They completely changed the way that they was going to bring out or sell their Microsoft consoles, and essentially I've ended up coming full circle again, because PlayStation just kind of rolled with the times, looked what their competitors were doing, and go, actually, this is the way that I think we can win short term with a view for the long term of people having a back catalogue of games in their ecosystem, which obviously Phil Spencer alluded to. That was the reason why I jumped straight in with the PlayStation 5, not because I thought that the Xbox Series S and X were going to be a failure again. It's because the games that I have played over the last 10 or so years have been on PlayStation. I've bought the PlayStation 4 versions of the games. If I buy PlayStation 5 and the game's compatible, go into my library, re-download it, jobs are good, and I'm able to play the games that I adore, maybe even a PlayStation 5 patch later down the line. So I do think that we have a long way to go with this, and I do believe that the PC audience makes up a large majority of gaming, whether or not you're using the Xbox app, whether or not you're using Steam, the Epic Game Store, GOG, whatever it is that people are playing games on. You have there's many different ways of being able to do it on a PC, and obviously that's the market that they want to go for. It does surprise me that a lot of their games that come onto Game Pass doesn't necessarily go onto PC day one, but it's not a direct port from Xbox consoles to PC. Usually those things are outsourced to a completely different company for them to be able to look after that process, because your primary team is making sure that the game runs well on console. Okay, the game's out there, we'll do some hot fixes, there's the code, you guys sort it out over there, bring out the PC version in 4 or 5 months' time, and then you guys can look after that side. That is usually the way that the video game world ends up going. It's few and far between that they end up coming out day one. Usually a live service game will be the difference in this, but yeah, we've got a long way to go in this. And them claiming that it's 1 billion will generate 1 billion in PC gaming revenue this year. I think it might be even a little bit more than that. The video game market is at an all-time high in terms of people buying games. Popular games are coming out, games that are breaking records left, right, and centre, with the likes of Tears of Kingdom coming out this year. Chances are we're going to get a brand new Mario game. Starfield, I think that's coming out early next year, but again, the next 18 months, the money is going to be coming through left, right, and centre, and there has never been a better time to own a console or be part of the PC ecosystem when it comes to playing video games. We're never going to have it better than we are now. Never going to have it better. Let me come back to the big screen then on my side so I can have a look in the chat. Pidge says, phasing out Xbox, it sounds like, yeah. JMK says, I'm jealous for Starfield, but I'll keep playing my PS5. I'll try and get Starfield on PC instead of getting Xbox. The Xbox doesn't have enough games to attract me over the PlayStation. JMK says also that the game is closing in Ireland soon. It doesn't surprise me. They've changed the way that they want to be able to sell games to you, or you consume games. It's not because that physical games are dying. They are slowly. However, the likes of walking in and seeing Funko Pops and merch and all this other stuff that you would never have seen 15 years ago in game, and that what made it beautiful. I feel like there's a large social aspect of this, and I feel like if I genuinely had endless amounts of money and I could throw a lot of money at a business to try and make those kind of game stations. I know obviously Game Station was something that got absorbed by Game way back when, but Game Station was a prime example for me of what video games consumers, customers, and experiences should have been like. Like, there was loads of kiosks around, there were sofas for you to be able to try and demo out a game, they had fridges in the corner for you to be able to go in and buy a drink and just socialize and things like that, as well as buy games. Like, it was a social hub more than it was a video game store, and I feel like that is what a business that I would genuinely try to emulate. I would go, okay, TVs all across the wall there. And this is basically what Game have been trying to do with the Belong centres. However, they are super expensive. You can't just go in there and play games for now because it'll cost you like 25 quid. Drinks are extortionate, blah, blah, blah. But I would try to make a social hub with games for you to be able to buy at the same time. Obviously, it would be absolutely raided by kids, because what else? There's always what a kid. They've taken the AstroTurf away. They don't have football pitches. There's no parks anymore. What are the kids meant to do apart from roam around on the streets? And of course, kids will end up coming in there, but just have a dedicated stations for them and stuff like that. Like, if you had a big enough venue, I think you could make it work, and I definitely think that there is a market there. Like, rather than I think there's a market for cafes that are open in the evening. I don't know why cafes tend to close at 5 or 6 o'clock. When I finish work and I go home, all cafes are shut unless it's a takeaway Costa place or a drive-through or something like that. They're all closed. I think there's a market for a cafe to be open at the same time as like a club, like open till 2 o'clock in the morning. So if you wanted to go out and meet your friends or something, you don't have to go out on the piss or whatever. You can go to a cafe, take your laptops, a little bit of Command and Conquer LAN or something like that, a bit of Quake Arena in there. I think there's definitely a market for that kind of thing, but whether or not, I mean, there's no R&D for that, or if they are, obviously no one's going to release that because it's a business plan. But yeah, costs too much to buy most secondhand games. Just buy the digital games when they're on sale. Exactly. And the trading value for games, there used to be, when I used to work at B&M, back when I was 17, there used to be a shop in Ashton right in front. It was a big, it burnt down, but then they rebuilt it again. But it was a big market hall, and they had loads of cafes and stuff in there, clothes shops, blah blah blah. But there was a little game shop, tiny it was. It was like, I don't know, maybe 20 foot wide and maybe 30 foot back. It was like a little kiosk, like a market stall, but just a little bit further back. A lovely guy in there called Adam. I don't know if he owned it or he was just someone who subletted it or what. But he used to have all the games on the sides. You go in, you'd get your game. But you would buy a game, say for instance the first time, £40 for him. If you completed that back 17, had no life, would go out at weekends to go on the piss or whatever it is. But during the week, go to college, finish work, come home, just play video games until 3 or 4 in the morning, go to college, rinse and repeat, blah, blah, blah. You'd go back the next week, give him a £5. He would then swap your game, bosh. So you'd take in, I don't know, Resident Evil 4. You just bought it, £40. You'd go back the next week. There was Gears of War on the shelf, brand new. Give him a £5, give him a copy of your Resident Evil back. He would then probably sell it for 35 quid or whatever. And that's the way that I just consumed video games back in the day. Like, I would go in and do that method. I just complete games, take them in, complete games, take it in, complete game. And that's how I feel like you get your return customer. You come in, you say, oh, that game's on sale for £10. End up coming back. I'll buy that as well as buying your brand new game. I feel like that kind of thing has moved away now. So if you was to buy a game for 70 quid, you take it back, they'd give you 30. So you've lost £40. They're going to put it back on the shelf for 60. The customer experience isn't there, and you're not looking after the people who you need to come back next week or come back next month. Obviously, there's going to be games that bomb that you end up spending £70 for. The game is trash. It ends up going into the £20 bargain bin at the side of the till when you're going to buy your can of Monster. Like, all of that stuff, we understand it. I just feel there's definitely a market out there to be able to try and bring in more consumer-friendly environments, if that makes any sense. Looking after your customers first. There's a reason why people end up going onto Amazon and pre-ordering the games, because they're going to get it 2 days before. The game collection is the best place. Jot this down if you haven't already. The game collection is the best place to buy your games from, because you tend to get them like 2 or 3 days early. The pre-order prices are ridiculous. Like, the way that they sell the games, I don't know how they're making a profit, because it seems to be the cheapest place around to be able to buy your games. But game collection, get your loyalty points in there as well, because if you end up buying 3 or 4 games, chances are you're going to get £30 off your next purchase anyway. So yeah, that's the BBC live approval being put on that one then. But ladies and gentlemen, we've been live for just over 50 minutes now. We've had 3 news articles today, 2 showcases overlooked, as well as discussing the state of video games and what we can do to improve our future as video game connoisseurs. Yeah, that is pretty much it for today. So if you are listening to this on podcast services, if you are listening to this right now live on Twitch, if you are watching this on YouTube afterwards, please just give this, go into the comments below, say nice show, Bibs, give it a big old tick, rate us 5-star if you listen to this on podcast stuff, because it obviously does mean a lot to us when you guys obviously want to be able to support us. You guys coming in every single day to listen to us talk about either, usually with myself and Graham, that obviously does mean a lot too. But do stick around though. We are going to send you over to one of our friends who is currently streaming, but we will be back tomorrow around about 10 a.m. ish. Hopefully from the studio. I'm going to be in the office tomorrow, so a chance that it will be from the studio tomorrow. So yeah, if you want to get involved with the show, if you want to help shape it, there is 2 ways to do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Uploads across all major social media Peace, wave. There you go, pitch. Tito, thank you for the social links. If you are watching this now and you're not following us on any of our other stuff, please do go ahead and do so. The links are in the chat now. So yeah, send us URL plus your first impressions. We will then give you our first impressions on the very next show, which again will be from this show in the studio tomorrow at 10 a.m. But do stick around. We'll send you over to one of our friends who is currently streaming right now, and it is 12 Ed, so go over there, give him a good old high five to the face. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. But I do have a lovely day. And as always, there's one thing that we want you to do, and that, my friends, is to stay frosty.